Have you ever wondered why your gambling bankroll just seems to absolutely vanish so much faster on a cruise ship than it does back home? You know the feeling. You walk in, the lights are flashing, the bells are ringing, and the energy is just infectious. It feels exactly like a mini Las Vegas floating right there on the ocean. But, well, it's not. Actually, behind all those flashing screens and those incredibly tempting free drinks, there are hidden mechanics literally designed to drain your wallet faster than a land-based casino ever could. So we're going to dive into the data to uncover exactly why that happens and look at the insider hacks that can completely flip the script for you.
Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking the insider's playbook, deconstructing the cruise ship casino. I've got to tell you, I was absolutely fascinated by the hidden systems operating all around us on these ships. If you're the kind of focused learner who just loves understanding the nuts and bolts of how these environments actually work, you are going to love this. We aren't just looking at the blinking lights here. We're exploring the math, the psychology, and some truly fascinating hacks that can shift the odds right back in your favor on your next voyage. Okay, let's dive right into this playbook. First up, we're covering the unregulated odds at sea. Then we'll hit the psychology of casino traps. Third, we'll uncover the theoretical loss secret. Fourth, why you should choose tables over slot machines. And finally, the ultimate game changer, the casino host hack. Starting with Section 1, unregulated odds at sea. We really need to understand these harsh mathematical realities of playing in international waters because this legal baseline impacts literally everything else that happens on that floor. Think about the stark contrast in regulations for a second. On land, places like Vegas are bound by incredibly strict gaming commissions. In Nevada, slots absolutely must return a legal minimum to players. And honestly, most casinos keep it much higher, often around 90 to 95% payouts just to stay competitive. But a cruise ship? Once that massive boat hits international waters, it sails right outside the jurisdiction of those strict gambling commissions. There's no one looking over their shoulder. This gives the cruise lines the ultimate freedom to tighten their slot machine payouts dramatically, often dropping them way down into the mid-80% range. To put that into perspective, let's look at the real-world impact. Imagine two players, right? Each one wagers $1,000. The player in Vegas, sitting at a machine set at a 94% payout, might expect to lose, say, about $60 over time. But our cruise passenger, playing an identical-looking machine set at an 85% payout, is going to lose around $150. It's the exact same play, the exact same amount of money wagered, but an undeniable $90 difference in your expected loss. The baseline math out on the ocean is just simply not on your side. Moving to Section 2, Psychology of Casino Traps. We're looking at how floor layout and those famously free drinks manipulate your play. Because, spoiler alert, the payout percentages aren't the only things working against you. It's like a giant puzzle. Every square foot of that room is a carefully choreographed performance designed to control your energy. At the entrances, the machines are specially programmed for high-frequency, tiny wins. That way, people walking by instantly hear those bells ringing and get drawn right into the action. But check out the corners. Those are the tighter machines tucked away quietly to keep the already seated players glued in place for hours without needing to advertise payouts. And the high-denomination slots, the $5, $10, $25 pulls, they're hidden away in private spots so the casual crowds don't see players losing big money super fast. Finally, the bar areas. These feature the absolute worst odds games, placed strategically right where your inhibitions drop the fastest. And we have to talk about those complimentary drinks because they are a brilliantly calculated trap. I mean, it feels incredibly generous when a smiling server hands you a rum punch on the house, right? But alcohol lowers your inhibitions and inevitably encourages riskier behavior. That drink costs the cruise line literally pennies, but it keeps you sitting at those high-margin slot machines way longer than you originally planned. Think about it. If you stay an extra hour feeding a machine just because you're sipping a free cocktail, well, that just became the most expensive drink of your entire vacation. Section 3, the theoretical loss secret. Cracking the code behind your loyalty card and free cruises. If you've ever wanted to know how to actually beat the system and earn those perks people always brag about, pay close attention here. So the crucial point is this. The casino's computer system doesn't actually care if you walked away a winner or a loser on any given night. They really don't. They only care about one specific mathematical equation, your theoretical loss, or your theo. This algorithm simply calculates your average wager, the amount of time you spent playing, and the specific house edge of the game you chose. This single number represents your absolute, true value to the casino. Your theo is the exact metric that dictates every single perk, comp, and free cruise you will ever be offered. Let's see how this plays out in a real-world scenario. Check out this contrast. On one hand, we have the slot splurger. This player dumps $500 into a machine in 20 lightning-fast minutes and loses the whole shebang. Actual loss, $500. But because their playtime was so incredibly short, the system registers their Theo as surprisingly low, and they're practically ignored. No way. Now look at the steady table player. They bet just $5 a hand at blackjack for 2 straight hours. They've wagered $600 in total. Since blackjack has a tiny house edge, the casino's expected loss, their Theo, is only $6. Yet because of that consistency and the time spent playing, this steady player is the one who earns the free cruise offers. It's wild, right? It's all about feeding the algorithm what it truly wants: consistent play over time.
But actually, let's do a quick reality check. Those free cruises aren't entirely free. You'll still be on the hook for port fees, taxes, and gratuities. And more importantly, the cruise line isn't just handing out vacations out of the kindness of their hearts. This is a very calculated long-term investment. They are comping your room because they fully expect you to walk right back onto their casino floor and play again. It's a continuous cycle. But hey, if you manage your Theo correctly, you can absolutely turn a few nights of smart, low-risk play into your next vacation. Section 4. Tables over slot machines. Why the smart money abandons the blinking lights. Now that we've decoded the math behind your Theo, this next choice becomes a total no-brainer. Just look at the staggering difference in the house edge here. The house edge on typical cruise ship slots towers at a massive 10 to 15%. That is a huge mathematical advantage for the house on every single spin. Now compare that to blackjack when played with basic strategy. It is a tiny sliver, under 1%. Craps and poker offer similarly slim advantages. If you want to actually survive the cruise casino without hemorrhaging cash, the math decisively proves you've got to choose the green felts over the digital screens. And you know, it's not just the house edge that's working in your favor, it's the speed of the game itself. Table games naturally move much slower. There's the shuffling, the betting, interacting with the dealer, paying out the chips. Ironically, this slower pace is absolutely your greatest weapon. It stretches your bankroll out, giving you hours of entertainment. And remember our secret about Theo? Slower, consistent play at a low house edge maximizes your time on the floor, which skyrockets your comp earning potential without devastating your wallet in 20 minutes. Finally, Section 5, the casino host hack. This is the human loophole that completely bypasses the algorithm. We've talked a lot about the math and the computer systems, but this is how you go entirely off the grid. Most passengers, they just sit down, swipe their loyalty cards, and assume the computer will blindly take care of everything. But here is the actionable insider playbook. Let's move to and see how this builds. Step 1. Show up consistently during quiet hours. Think mid-afternoon on a sea day, or really late at night when the crowds have thinned out. Step 2. Play those table games we just talked about, using steady, modest bets. Step 3. Simply introduce yourself politely and build a genuine rapport with a casino host. You see, these hosts have immense discretionary power. By just being visible, pleasant, and playing consistently when the room is dead, you stand out way more than a random high roller who drops a pile of cash in a crowded, noisy room and then disappears. And the results of making that connection? They are amazing. These discretionary host perks go way beyond the casino floor. If you make that friendly, consistent connection, hosts can go completely off the books. They can instantly comp your drinks and specialty dining, they can hand out free Wi-Fi packages, or even luxurious spa treatments. In some cases, they can literally arrange mid-cruise cabin upgrades, moving you from a standard interior room right up to a balcony. And they can invite you to private, unadvertised events. You do not need to be a massive spender to unlock these. You just need to be a pleasant, consistent presence who gets how the host system actually operates. So we come to our final provocative thought to leave you with. Are you playing the casino, or is the casino playing you? By understanding those unregulated payouts at sea, recognizing the psychological traps of floor design and free drinks, mastering the math behind your theoretical loss, and utilizing the real power of the casino host, you are no longer an unsuspecting mark. You are a savvy insider. The next time you step onto a ship, take this playbook with you. You can stretch your entertainment, elevate your trip with incredible insider perks, and take true control of your entire cruise experience. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.